This video tutorial will show you how I make things with the cutout effect, as I call it, where the elements of the picture look like they're cut out of paper. This effect is seen here in my desktop background, but you might not be able to see it very well because of the quality. Anyway, what we first do is we get some paper textures. There's some available on my site under Resources and then Textures, and I just downloaded them here. And I'll open one of them up in Photoshop. You can just drag it on in a Mac at least. So there, I've got my nice texture. If you zoom in, you can see the nice gritty wonderfulness. So now, create a little picture. File new, blank file. Make it 300, cutout. What should I draw? My main tool for drawing is the lasso tool, regular lasso tool, because it creates, when you have it checked on anti-alias, when you don't want any feathering, it creates nice sharp edges. So I will draw a building, or I don't know what I'm drawing. Trying to not do a city skyline because I already did that. Anyway, there's a building. And you notice I have a layer here. I created a new layer with this button. And I'll have a new layer for every section of the page, every color. So, make this building orange. Nice orange building. Let's try something fancy. I'm going to give a gradient background. Let's be like a sunset. I've never done that. Let's see if it looks like any good. This is a crazy sunset. Create a new layer and make some ground. This is not very pretty, but oh well. If you actually do this, you should have some foresight and idea about what you're planning on doing. Make some more buildings in the background. Or maybe you'll just make orange mountains. Combination of the city and country theme, you know? Maybe it's just a California theme. I don't know. I'm not in California. California is elsewhere. Oh, anyway. Alright, so I have my different layers, but they're kind of blending together. So we're going to make a shadow to make some depth in this image. So for the first layer, I'm going to duplicate it. Then do Apple U. It brings up this menu, which you can also get by doing Enhance, Adjust Color, and then go over to Hue Saturation. So turn the lightness all the way down. So this became black. Then Filter, Blur, Gaussian blur, I don't know. What does it matter if you can't pronounce it? And then make the shadow as big as you want, and make it a little less strong by turning the opacity down in this menu. Then repeat the process. Duplicate, Apple U, or Control U, lightness down, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Make a big shadow because it's far away from the mountains in the background. Make it fainter. It doesn't look that bad. And then here's a new one. And your last one. Lightness down. Filter, blur. I'll make that one far away because it's not close to the sky. Nothing's close to the sky. Alright, there we go. And now, the final and most critical step is putting this in there. So we're going to put the texture on top. You could copy and paste it in. I'm just going to drag it on. You might not be able to do that in your version of Photoshop. And then put it on the layer mode overlay. The colors are really funky here. And if you don't want to mess with the colors, just desaturate this, so remove all the color from the texture so it doesn't interfere. So I turn the saturation down, and I've got a nice, pretty sweet looking paper cutout effect. I can just drag it around a little and find a nicer looking area if I want. If I get to the edge, it'll look creepy. Anyway, there you go, cutout effect. Basically, it works by overlaying the texture onto the image underneath. You can play around with other layer modes, but overlay works the best. Works most. Some of these are pretty ugly, but anyway, there you go. Overlay, cutout effect. Enjoy.